Salam alaikum, dear students. My name is Sujit Kalarikal Bhaskaran and I am from Delma School. Today we are going to revise Grade 11 General Biology EOT revision for Term 3. Let's continue. Your questions 1, 13, and 28 are from page number 28, that is the first page in the lesson Digestive System. So first question is to observe how the jaw and teeth along with the salivary glands and tongue contribute to the digestion of food, each according to its structure and function. So you will get the questions from figure 1. So figure 1 is showing the tongue, teeth and the salivary glands position. So you have two different types of digestion happening in your digestive system. First one is the mechanical digestion and the second one is the chemical digestion. So the tongue, teeth and the muscles are part of the mechanical digestion. So mechanical digestion is physically breaking down the food into pieces. Your tongue chew the food, and tongue and teeth in the buccal cavity chew the food and thereby breaking it to smaller pieces. And the salivary glands are secreting salivary amylase and the saliva. These is part of the chemical digestion. So the food, the chewed food, is mixed with the saliva, and the chemical digestion of carbohydrate, that is the glucose or the sugar, starts uh, at the same time. So you know that when you eat sugar, you'll feel suddenly you feel like you get some energy. It is because of the chemical digestion of carbohydrate started in your mouth itself, right? So the chemical digestion of the carbohydrates starts in the mouth. So, uh, what we have learned in this page is there are two different types of digestion, that is mechanical digestion, that is breaking down food into pieces, and the next one is the chemical digestion. Question number 2 and 14 are from page number 29. So, first question, describe using the anatomy of digestive system the importance of digestion in providing nutrients needed for energy and growth. So you can get the question from get it question. So the importance of peristalsis to digestion. So in this lesson, in the page number 29, we are seeing a picture, that is figure 2, that is showing the esophagus. Esophagus is the tube that connect the uh, pharynx to the stomach, right? You can see this tube, that is the esophagus. So esophagus is lined with smooth muscles which is constantly moving, and it pushes the food towards inside, right, towards the stomach. And this movement of food is called as the peristalsis, or in other terms it is also called as the peristaltic movements. And because of this, even if you are upside down, your foot will be moving through the digestive tract all the way from the mouth to the anus, right? So all over the digestive system or the digestive tract, the peristalsis is happening even in your small intestine. So peristalsis is the movement of smooth muscles, right? You can relate this to the movement of snake, right? So the food is moving through the esophagus through peristalsis. And next one you can see. So next you can see this word is important. Epiglottis, right? Epiglottis is a valve like structure that is in the after the pharynx, which is made up of cartilage, which opens and close, right, when the food moves through the food pipe. And this epiglottis is preventing the movement of food to the lungs, right? So the air tract will be closed when you are eating the food. Otherwise, the food can enter the air tract or trachea, and you can get choking, right? You can be choked. So the epiglottis is the plate of cartilage that is preventing the entry of food into the lungs. And in the next part, you can see the stomach, right? The stomach is made up of layers, right? And the stomach is producing an acid called as the hydrochloric acid. The pH of the hydrochloric acid is about 2. It is like the lemon juice, but it's concentrated. And the acid in the stomach is helping in the digestion of the food. And the before entering the stomach, you can see a ring of muscles in the before it, like after the esophagus, and this is called as the cardiac sphincter, right? This is the sphincter, right? This is the ring of muscles. And the on the esophagus, you can see that is the cardiac sphincter. And after the stomach, right, after the stomach, then there is another sphincter that is called as the pyloric sphincter, right? So if the sphincter is allowing the movement of acid through the esophagus, you will feel like the heartburn, and this is because of the acid influx. The acid is coming to your mouth through the esophagus. And this you can get it because of the acidity, and people eat antacids to avoid this. Okay, so next one is about the mucus, right? The cells of the stomach is secreting mucus, right? It is the mucus that is helping the stomach to be safe in the acidic environment, right? The walls of the muscles are not destroyed because of the mucus, right? You can see that the mucus secretions are helping the stomach. There are three layers of the inside the stomach that is protecting the stomach. Okay, so the pepsin, right? Pepsin, see P, right? It is P. So pepsin is for the digestion of the proteins. So the pepsin can start digestion only in the stomach because it needs an acidic environment, right? So it needs the digestion of proteins start in the stomach because it needs an acidic environment, right? And the last one, if the stomach is empty, right, it might be like about 50 ml, right, as small as 50 ml. And when it is full, it can be like 2 to 4 liters. Like this muscles of the stomach can expand to 2 to 4 liters. Question number 15 and 16 are from page number 31. So here you will get two questions. One is about the secretion by the liver and about the villi, right? Microvilli in the small intestine. So describe using the anatomy of digestive system the importance of digestion in providing nutrients needed for energy and growth. So here you can see that liver is the largest internal organ. Okay, and it is producing the bile, right? The bile is in the yellow color. And you know that, like we have discussed in the class, like when you're vomiting, if you vomit for a long time, uh, after some time you might get a yellow color coming from your stomach. That is the bile juice secreted by the liver. So bile is helping in the digestion of fats, right? The breaking down of fats. So about 1 liter, right? About 1 liter of bile is produced every day. So all this bile is not stored in the liver, but there is another organ called as the gallbladder, right? So here you can see that the gallbladder is storing the bile, and it can release whenever it is required. So the liver is producing the bile, and the gallbladder is storing, and from the gallbladder it will be released into the small intestine whenever it is required. So you can see these stones, right? These stones are the gall stones, or the the stones from the bile, and this is because of the cholesterol crystals formed in the gallbladder, right? So these are the stones that is formed in the gallbladder when the cholesterol is deposited. And then there is another part that is called as the villi, right? In this small intestine. So imagine this is the small intestine, and you have small finger like projections, right? Inside there is a small finger like projections on both all around the small intestine, because this is helping in the absorption of the nutrients, right? When the bloodstream is going, sorry, when the food is passing, the nutrients in the food, right? The small nutrients in the food is absorbed by the microvilli. So microvilli. So imagine that if this is like this, right? The small intestine is like this. The surface area is small, and see, imagine that if this is something like this, right? So the surface area for absorption is small. That is why we have villi, right? It is called as the microvilli, and the villi has capillaries all through, right? The small capillaries which can absorb the nutrients into the bloodstream. So that is the function of the villi. So villi is increasing the surface area of the small intestine, and also increasing the absorption, right? So the surface area and also the absorption, right? Absorption, right? Absorption. So villi is increasing the both the surface area and absorption. And the last one, you can see that the digestive enzyme, when it is going through the digestive tract or the small intestine, after the small intestine, it is called as the chyme, right? Chyme. And this chyme is going to the large intestine from the small intestine. So from the small intestine, it goes to the large intestine, right? So when it is reaching the large intestine, it is called as the chyme. It is semi-liquid, and the large intestine is absorbing all the water from the chyme, and it becomes the feces, right? So that is removed through the anus after the uh, total digestion. So large intestine, the only function is to reabsorb the water. Question number 3 is from page number 32. You can see that the uh, this text is describing the large intestine. So when we discussed about the small intestine, we have discussed that the small intestine is about 7 meter long. But the large intestine is small in the in the length, right? It is only 1.5 meter long, and it includes the colon, rectum, and the the appendix. So it starts with the appendix. We don't know what is the function of the appendix, right? So you can see that in the large intestine, you can see an organ called as the the uh, appendix, and the scientist or doctors still doesn't know clearly about the functions of the appendix. You can see many different kinds of bacteria in the appendix, and in the large intestine these bacteria are producing vitamin K and vitamin B, right? You will see this also in the next lesson in the nutrition. So in the large intestine, the bacteria is producing vitamin K and vitamin B. Okay, the only function of the large intestine is actually to reabsorb the water from the chyme. We learned that the small intestine, after the absorption of the nutrients, the small intestine pass the waste material to the large intestine, right? So large intestine is getting the waste in the form of chyme, chyme, right? Chyme. So chyme is a semi-liquid format. it has water in it. So the large intestine is removing the water, right? It is removing the water from the chyme, and the chyme becomes the solid waste that is going through the anus. So before the waste is going out of the rectum, right, there is another sphincter muscles at the end of the rectum, and when it is activated, this will be relaxed, and the waste will be going out through the anus. So this is about the large intestine. Okay, you will get the information from the text, and you can see also this table. So the timing that is for each of these body parts. So the mouth is about 5 to 30 seconds, so we chew the food for about the 30 seconds, and when we are swallowing, another 10 minutes, 10 seconds is lost. And the the mechanical and chemical digestion in the stomach takes in the stomach, right, about 2 to 24 hours, right? It can take up to 24 hours. And in the small intestine, it spends about 3 to 4 hours. And in the large intestine, it can stay from 18 hours to 2 days. Question number 4 and 18 are from page number 33. So, this is the next lesson, that is the nutrition lesson. So, what is nutrition? Nutrition is the process by which a person takes in and uses the food, right? So, generally, when we are eating the food and taking the food for energy, this process is called as the nutrition. And we are eating the food for getting the energy, right? So energy is calculated in the form of calories. So you have two different, like when I write the calorie with the capital C, right? CALORI, right? So calorie with the capital C. And when I write the calorie with the small letters, right? Small letters calorie, both are different, right? Different units of energy. So the capital C, this one is also called as a kilocalorie, right? So this is the unit to measure the energy content of the food, right? A calorie, that is the capital letter calorie, is equal to 1 kilocalorie or 1,000 calories, right? So 1 kilocalorie or 1 capital letter calorie is equal to about 1,000 calories, that is written in the small letter. So what is a calorie, right? So a calorie, right? See this small letters, right? It is in the small letters. So a calorie is the amount of heat required or needed to raise the temperature of 1 ml of water, right? 1 ml of water to 1 degree Celsius. You have to heat the if you want to heat the 1 ml water to 1 degree Celsius. So imagine that the water is 18 degrees Celsius, right? And if you want to make it 19 degrees Celsius, right? You have to apply 1 calorie of energy. So what is a capital calorie? So same logic. So a capital calorie is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of water. uh, how much water? That is 1,000 ml water, right? 1,000 ml water to 1 degree, right? Degree Celsius. So that is the calorie, right? 1,000 calorie. And you have different types of food. You eat different types of food. You eat carbohydrate, right? Carbohydrate, that is sugar. Carbohydrate is there in the rice, the kubus you are eating, the flour you are eating. So all these has carbohydrate. You have simple carbohydrates and the complex carbohydrate. We'll be seeing in the next pages. So carbohydrates has about four so carbohydrates has about 4 calories of energy per gram, right? So 4 calories per gram. and the protein when you're eating, right? Protein when you're eating, it's giving about four calories per gram. But in the case of fats, it is different, right? In the case of fats, you are getting about 9 calories, right? 9 calories from 1 gram of fat, right? 1 gram of fat. Question number 5, 6, and 17 are from page number 34. So, page number 34 is describing two different nutrients that is required for your body, or the biomolecules that is required by your body. These are carbohydrates and fats. So, carbohydrates are the sugars. You eat glucose, like when you put uh, sugar in the tea, it is sucrose, or it is a carbohydrate. So there are simple and complex carbohydrates. So the glucose is a simple carbohydrate, and the starch that you find in the plants is a complex carbohydrate, right? So glucose, fructose, and the sucrose, right? Sucrose you put in the sugar are simple carbohydrates, and the complex carbohydrates are like the starches or the other forms of macromolecules, like the cellulose, are the complex carbohydrate. So the complex carbohydrate should be broken down into simple uh, carbohydrate or simple sugars in your digestive tract. And the glucose, like glucose is the source of energy for your body. So this picture shows that you require carbohydrate. Uh, the bread is a carbohydrate, source of carbohydrate. Rice is a source of carbohydrate. So you can see in internet like different source of carbohydrates for your body. And on the other hand, the fats, right? The fats are made up of glycerol and fatty acids, right? The I will show you here. So the fats are made up of glycerol and fatty acids, okay? And the carbohydrates are made up of glucose, right? The building block of carbohydrate is glucose, but the fats are made up of glycerol and fatty acids. And there are two different types of fats. One is the saturated fat and the unsaturated fat, right? So the saturated fat is this one in the picture, is the butter, right? It is solid at in room temperature because it is saturated, right? It is saturated, right? The butter is saturated, okay? And the oils are the picture here, like olive oil or the vegetable oil, are unsaturated oils, right? So unsaturated oils are liquid at room temperature, right? Unsaturated oils are liquid at room temperature. And I told that the fats are made up of fatty acids and glycerol, right? And in your small intestine, this will be broken into the fats will be broken into fatty acids and glycerol. And fats are very very important for your body because it gives the your cells are made up of plasma membrane, and carbohydrates are very very important in the energy requirements, right? You are getting sudden energy through the carbohydrate. On the other hand, the fats are the stored form of energy. Like when you are becoming fat, right? It is the stored form of energy. You have to do more exercise when to burn the fat, because the fats are the stored form of energy. Question number 29 is from page number 36. You can see that it is describing the vitamins and minerals. You can either say vitamin or vitamins. So, vitamins are the organic compounds that is required in very, very small amounts, that is helping in the metabolic activities, right? Metabolic activities are all the chemical activities that is happening, including the digestion in your body. So there are vitamins like vitamin D, which can be produced by the cells of your body. When you go in the sunlight, right, like not in the noontime, but in the morning or evening, you are getting exposed to small amount of UV lights, and that regulates the amount of vitamin D production in your body. So vitamin D is actually very important for your body, for the calcium absorption in your body. And if there is no vitamin D in your body, you might get a condition called as rickets, right? Rickets, RICKETS, right? Rickets. So rickets is the deficiency of vitamin C, right? Vitamin D, sorry. If there is no vitamin D, right? If there is no vitamin D, you will have rickets. It is the softening of the bonds, right? The bonds become soft and weak, is called as the rickets. And the other vitamins are vitamin B and vitamin K, right? Vitamin B and vitamin K, as we discussed, this is produced by the bacteria in the large intestine, right? Bacteria in the large intestine. Okay, so there are two different types of vitamins. One is the water soluble vitamins, right? So one type of vitamin is the water soluble vitamin. So water soluble vitamin cannot be stored in your body. You cannot store it because your body is full of water. You cannot store it safely. That's why you have to eat these vitamins as supplements. But the other type of vitamin is the fat soluble vitamin. So there are two types. One is the water soluble, right? Water soluble vitamins, which cannot be stored in the body, and the other one is the second one is the fat soluble, right? Uh, Fat soluble, which can be stored in the body in the liver, right? So this is stored in the liver and the fatty tissue. And on the other hand, the minerals are the inorganic compounds. What is the difference between organic and inorganic? So vitamins are organic, which means it include or it contain the carbon, uh, but on the other hand, minerals are inorganic, right? It does not have carbon, and these are the compounds uh, used as the building materials of the body, and also helping in the metabolic functions. So iron, right? The vitamin iron is part of the hemoglobin, right? It is very important to make the hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin you can find in the blood, right? Hemoglobin is the protein that is carrying the oxygen in the blood. Okay, and the vitamin, sorry, not vitamin, the calcium is the mineral, right? That is good for your teeth and bones. Okay, and the other one is the iodine, right? So you can see here the iodine is a vitamin, sorry, iodine is a mineral that is very important for your thyroid gland, or for the thyroid gland function. Okay, and if you take a high amount of vitamins or minerals, that can harm your body, because there is a recommended daily allowance for your body. And if you don't have if you are taking more than required, it can create problems in your body. Question number 23, 25, and 24 are going to be from page number 39 and 40. So these pages are describing the endocrine system, uh, the hormones produced by the endocrine system, and also two different types of hormones. Those are steroid hormones and the amino acid hormones. So what is endocrine system? So endocrine system or the endocrine glands are the ductless gland, right? This does not have ducts, so that the hormones are released into the bloodstream, right? The endocrine glands are ductless glands, that is producing the hormone and releasing into the bloodstream because they don't have ducts. And what is a hormone? Hormone is a substance that act as a uh, chemical messenger, right? So these hormones are the chemical messengers that goes into the cells and create an action, right? It can be a protein production or it can be a change in the cell. So there are two different types of hormones. First one is the steroid hormone, right? The two examples of the steroid hormones are the estrogen and testosterone, right? These are the sex hormones in the humans. So steroid hormones are actually made with the fats. So steroid is related to fats and oils. So as the cell membrane, right? This is our cell. As the cell membrane can allow the steroid hormone, it can go directly through the plasma membrane, and it can go into the nucleus and bind to the receptors in the nucleus and start the protein production, right? It is starting the protein production. Okay, so the steroid hormone can directly go into the cell because it can go directly through the plasma membrane, right? This is the plasma membrane of the cell. But on the other hand, the amino acid hormones are insulin and growth hormone, right? Insulin is a hormone that is regulating the glucose level, and the growth hormone is controlling the growth. So these are, as it is, amino acid hormones, right? You know amino acid, right? The proteins are made up of amino acids. So as these are made up of amino acid hormones, this cannot pass through the cell membrane, right? This cannot pass through the cell membrane. It is not allowed inside the cell. So that's why these hormones will come and attach to the hormone receptors on the cell membrane, right? There are receptors on the cell membrane, and that will bring the change which should be done by the hormone, right? The insulin, maybe it is to uptake of the glucose and convert this into glycogen, that you will learn in the next page. So the main point is that the amino acid hormone cannot pass through the plasma membrane, and it is activating the hormone receptors that is on the uh, plasma membrane. Question number 7, 8, 19, and 26 are going to be from page number 42. This is very important because you are getting about 4 questions from one page. So, first one is from the figure 17. Either you will get to label these parts like of the brain. You have the cerebrum, skull. The pituitary gland is the small gland here, and the hypothalamus, and you can see the brainstem, which is ponus and medulla. So you will get a question for sure about the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is called as the master gland in the body, right? It is the master gland of the brain because the pituitary gland is controlling all the other glands, right? So it is deciding all the other glands what to produce, right? So it is also regulating the functions of the endocrine glands, such as the thyroid gland, adrenal gland, testes, and ovaries. So the pituitary gland is called as the master gland, even though it is very small, right? You can see it is very small. It is controlling all the functions of the other endocrine glands. So it is called as the master gland. And also the some pituitary hormones help in the regulation of the human growth hormone, right? It is HGH, right? HGH is the human growth hormone, right? That is deciding the growth of our body by stimulating the mitosis and uh, bond processing, right? This is the human growth hormone, right? It is very important in childhood and adolescence because this is your growing age. So the growth hormone or the human growth hormone is very important, which is regulated by the pituitary gland, is helping in the growth of the person. Okay, and the next question will be from the thyroid and parathyroid glands. How the thyroid and parathyroid glands are regulating the amount of calcium in your body. So you have two organs, thyroxine and thyroid and parathyroid hormones. So, when the calcium uh, when the calcium level in the body is high, right? When the calcium level in the body is high, the thyroid gland will produce the calcitonin, right? Calcitonin. So the calcitonin will move the calcium from blood to bone. So when there is more calcium in the blood, right? So this is calcium in the blood. So uh, calcium 2 plus, it is 2 plus in the blood, there will be calcitonin secretion. The calcitonin will be secreted, and this the calcium will be moved from the blood to bone, right? So this is bone. So the calcium is moved from blood to bone so that the amount of calcium in the blood will go down. Okay, so another time when the calcium level is going very, very low, so what happens is the parathyroid gland, right? So the parathyroid gland will release parathyroid hormone, right? So here it was calcitonin, but now when it is less, right? When it is high, it will release calcitonin, right? Calcitonin, calcitonin, right? Calcitonin, TONIN, right? Calcitonin. Uh, but when the calcium level is low, right? This will release parathyroid hormone, right? PTH, or the parathyroid hormone, and this will move the calcium from bone to blood, right? So this is the bone to blood, right? In the calcitonin, it is blood to bone, but the parathyroid hormone will release the calcium from bone to blood, and this is how the two hormones are maintaining the balance of calcium in the body. And this is because of the negative feedback loop, right? This is the negative feedback loop that is working in your body. Okay, negative and positive feedback loop helps to maintain the balance or the homeostasis in your body. Question number 9, 10, 20, 21, 22, and 27 are from page number 43. This is very important page that you are going to get questions about pancreas and the adrenal glands. If you understand these concepts, it's going to be very easy for you to score very high marks because you are getting maximum questions from this page. So, pancreas is an organ that is secreting enzymes for the digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And it has the other functions such as the regulation of the glucose in the body, right? You know, the glucose, you eat sugar in the form of sucrose, and you see that the elder people or the people who have diabetics cannot eat much glucose because they have lost the mechanism of balancing the glucose in their body. So the pancreas is secreting the hormone called as insulin when the blood glucose level is high, right? When the glucose level is very high, what happens is it releases insulin, right? Insulin. So insulin is helping to convert the glucose into glycogen, right? So the insulin, what will do is insulin will convert the glucose into glycogen, right? Glycogen, right? Glycogen. So the glycogen is stored for the later use. So what happens if the glucose level is going very low, right? So the pancreas will secrete glucagon, right? Glucagon, right? Cagon, right? Glucagon, right? Glucagon. So what glucagon will do? Glucagon will convert the glycogen back to glucose so that there will be more uh, glucose in the blood. So that is how these are like two hormones, that is like opposite pairs, right? So when glucose is high, insulin is secreted, and when the glucose is low, glucagon is secreted. And the when we are not able to produce enough insulin, uh, we will have diabetics, right? So there are two diabetics. One is the type 1 diabetics, which is actually like in seen in the younger people, like kids and all will have type 1 diabetics. And the type 2 diabetics actually comes in like when you are getting aged, right? People who are old. This is because of the uh, cells becoming insensitive to the insulin, right? The insulin is not able to work properly in the older people. It is called as the type 2 diabetics. Okay, and then we will go to then we will go to the adrenal glands. So adrenal glands are found when you learned about the kidneys, right? So you have the kidneys, bean-shaped kidneys, and on top of the kidneys, you have like a crown-like structure on both kidneys, right? On both kidneys, you have the crown-like structure. It is called as the adrenal gland. So adrenal gland has outer part. It is called as the cortex, right? The cortex of the adrenal gland is producing two hormones, that is the aldosterone and cortisol. So aldosterone is helping in reabsorbing sodium, and cortisol is a stress hormone that is releasing glucose or increasing the glucose when you are in stress, right? And it is avoiding the inflammation. So these are the two hormones that is produced by the outer part or the cortex of the adrenal gland. And the inside part of the adrenal gland is producing two hormones, that is called as the epinephrine and norepinephrine. You can see that epinephrine and norepinephrine, and these hormones are called as the fight or flight response hormones, because when you are in a stress situation, when you suddenly see a snake or a tiger in front of you, you have to take a decision whether to run or fight back. So this depends upon the hormone secreted, uh, the norepinephrine or the epinephrine, right? It is also called as the adrenaline and noradrenaline. So this increase your heart rate and the blood pressure and the breathing rate so that you can run faster. It also increase the blood sugar level so that you can run faster. We are in the last page of the EOT and the lesson. Question number 12 and 30 are from page number 45. The first question might be a figure, either to write whether it is an increased ADH or decreased ADH. So we'll see how the hormones or the homeostasis is relating to the nervous system. So you know that the hypothalamus is a part that is controlling the homeostasis in the body. So homeostasis is maintaining the constant internal conditions irrespective of the outside uh, temperature, water level, or anything, right? So if you are living in a cold place like an Antarctic, still your body temperature is going to be 37 degrees Celsius, because your body system is maintaining the homeostasis, right? It is maintaining the temperature at 37 degrees Celsius through homeostasis. So when your body, okay, so before that, the hypothalamus is producing two hormones. One is the oxytocin, right? Oxytocin, and the other one is called as the antidiuretic hormone, right? Antidiuretic hormone is very important in maintaining the water balance in your body. So water balance maintenance is very important. So when you are feeling thirsty, when you have low amount of water in your blood, so what happens is it will increase the amount of ADH, anti-diuretic hormone, by the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is sensing that there is less water, so it will increase the amount of anti-diuretic hormone when the water level is low. So what happens is this will tell the kidneys to reabsorb more water. So the kidneys will take more water from the waste. It will not lose water through the urine. So you will have less urine because of that, right? Less urine, so that you don't have to throw the water outside. So you will have, yes, less urine outside. And the opposite happens, right? When the water is more, right, you have more water in the blood. So what happens if you have more water in the blood, right? You can now guess what will happen if there is more water in the blood. So it will reduce the amount of ADH, right? It will reduce the amount of anti-diuretic hormone, right? Anti-diuretic hormone, and the reabsorption in the kidneys will be less, and there will be more urine, right? The more water will be going through the urine, right? So when you have vomiting and all, what happens is you have less water in the body, so it will increase the ADH, right? So if there is more water in the blood, so what happens is the ADH will be reduced. A small amount of ADH will be there, and then it will reduce the amount of reabsorption, and there will be more urine. Okay, so I hope you understood all the part of the lesson, and please complete the materials I have shared on the LMS, the questions, model questions, and all. And good luck for your exam. All the best.